I just finished making this review and I can't believe the results I got. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Justin, and in this video we're going to be talking about these. So these are going to be body straps, and they're used for placing a wireless transmitter or a recorder onto your talent. And if you work in events like me, dealing with weddings, quinceañeras, or other events involving people, odds are you also are miking up people. To put a lavalier on somebody, you also have somewhere to record it or transmit it, which is where these come in. If you work specifically in large events such as weddings, quinceañeras, odds are you're going to be putting a lavalier microphone and a wireless transmitter or a recorder on that person to be able to capture their audio. To do that, you'll be using some sort of strap such as a thigh strap, ankle strap, or torso strap to securely put your transmitter or recorder on that person. Today specifically, the type of strap that we're going to be comparing is going to be a thigh strap. On the URSA side, this is the most talked about strap that you'll hear if you ever watch a videographer break down their audio kit for events. The URSA strap has a place to tuck away any excess cable. The URSA strap claims to offer comfort and breathability while having a polyurethane grip. These are also machine washable. On the Viviana side, we have the Viviana Extreme Strap. Viviana states to also offer comfort and breathability, and directly says on their product listing that it has a hypoallergenic no-slip grip. Viviana claims that the Extreme Strap is sweat and water resistant. The Viviana has 2 cable pouches, and both straps are machine washable. So I've actually been wearing both the Viviana and the URSA strap since I woke up this morning. So in total, I've had these on for about 3.5 hours. On my left leg, I have the Viviana Extreme holding a Sennheiser G4 wireless transmitter. And on my right leg, I have the URSA strap also holding a Sennheiser G4 body transmitter. So some of my thoughts right now is that I can definitely tell that the Viviana strap is on my body. The URSA strap has kind of faded into distant memory, and I've forgotten that I'm wearing it. Versus the Viviana strap, I can definitely tell that more of the no-slip grip is making contact with my leg, and I'm definitely more aware of the Viviana Extreme. So as I was getting prepared to make this video this morning, and I had just first put on the straps, I did notice that they were slowly sliding towards my knees. This might have been user error, possibly not tightening both straps enough, but I then went back and tightened up slightly more than I would have, while still remaining comfortable. So for this test, I'll be putting these straps through 3 courses. The first one will be a running test, the second one will be a jumping test to simulate dancing, and the third test will be the water resistant test, or in this case, sweat. If you have them placed on your talent's legs and they're in a heavy dress, odds are they're probably going to be very hot. And also if you're filming during summer, the sun might be out and your entire bridal party is going to be sweating in those 3-piece suits and in those dresses. As it stands right now, I can definitely notice sweat accumulating on my leg, specifically on the Viviana Extreme. I'm definitely made more aware of the moisture there versus the URSA strap, which has honestly faded into distant memory. I almost forgot that I was wearing it. So another big reason I want to make this video is just to make sure that I personally have experience wearing one of these straps for a decent long amount of time. As videographers, we're very keen on asking our clients to wear these devices and products on their body. But something that was very important to me is that I want to understand what they might be going through when I ask them to put on a body strap. Is it comfortable? Is it slipping off? Is it distracting? Is it taken away from my experience? These are things that I very much care about, and I definitely don't want to get in the way of my client's experience, especially on a big day such as the wedding. So with that out of the way, let's get to our first test, which is going to be the running test. For the running test, I'll be running back and forth a pretty good distance for about 5 times. I'll report back if any of the straps start to slide down or if any of the straps flat out fail and fall. Remember, I have both of these on pretty snugly. The URSA feels like it's disappeared and I can barely feel it anymore. And the Viviana definitely feels like it has more bite on my leg. Here goes the running test. I'm gonna run back and forth 5 times between here and back there. I could immediately feel the Viviana strap start to slide down. The URSA strap is actually holding on pretty steady. Something I also feel while doing this is that the Viviana strap is a lot more wet than the URSA strap feels. Okay, the Viviana Extreme is sliding down my leg and has now hit my knee. It's being held in place barely. The Viviana Extreme is now down to my knee. If I was a bride, I would be really worried about dropping my videographer's really expensive audio device. After running 5 or 6 times, I think, I could definitely tell that the Viviana strap started to slide down, whereas the URSA strap stayed pretty snug and out of the way. I could definitely tell and feel and notice all the extra bumps on the Viviana Extreme versus the URSA, which honestly I didn't even tell was there. I'll reset both of these straps and put them up higher. And I was gonna adjust the URSA strap, but honestly, I don't even think the URSA strap needs any adjustment. It's still holding on, but just for the sake of fairness, I'm also gonna slide it up my thigh a bit to get on the same level as the Viviana Extreme. So now I've reset both straps and put them both on a similar length. On my left, it's still the Viviana Extreme, and on my right, it's still the URSA strap. So I'll run back and forth a couple more times just to do the running test again. So I did the running test twice just to make sure, and after running relatively quick, I'd say that the secure factor in the back of my mind definitely goes to the URSA, even though it's not claiming to be any sort of extreme material. The URSA just holds onto my leg better and I don't notice it versus the Viviana Extreme, which feels like it just slowly starts to glide down my leg as I ran. So I definitely noticed the little tiny dots of the no slip material a lot more on the Viviana Extreme versus the URSA. Not only did the Viviana Extreme remind me that it was there as I was moving around, it still feels more wet than the URSA, and I'm guessing that has to be due to its water repellent capabilities, where the URSA is probably absorbing more of the sweat off my leg. So that might be a reason for why the Viviana feels more moist. In terms of grip, I will have to still give it to the URSA because as I'm running, the Viviana just slowly starts to creep its way down my leg and make its way to my knee. So on the run test, it's fail for the Viviana and pass for the URSA. I'll now reset both straps again and do my jumping test. All right, so for this next test, I've reset both straps and they should be at similar length. They both feel equally as snug while still being comfortable, which is the main part I'm concerned about. And then I'll be using skips and jumping kicks to test out how these do in a more intense scenario, such as dancing. So for that, we're gonna be simulating it with jumping. And here we go. I'll do this about 5 times and I'll do it twice. All right, complete failure on the Viviana Extreme. Absolutely, like, I don't think the camera can see this, but like, the Viviana Extreme has completely fell off my leg. That wasn't even 2. That was 1 rep of the skips, and again, the Viviana is just slipping off my leg. I'll call this first round for the URSA, and the Viviana just flat out disqualified from this first run. We'll do it one more time. All right, skip test number 2. First one, Viviana Extreme absolutely just disqualified before we can even make it back on the first rep. Got them both snug against my thigh again, and this time I've actually taken more pressure on the Viviana Extreme. So I've tightened it up more than the URSA. So I'll be doing a skip test again, going up, down, and we're just gonna see if the Viviana can redeem itself on the second pass of this test. So hopefully I can make it past 1 rep. I haven't even mentioned one thing wrong with the URSA strap. Still maintaining invisibility. I don't even notice it's there. The polyurethane grip is super comfortable. It doesn't feel wet. We'll see. So here goes. I'm just gonna stop at 2 reps. The Viviana is back down against my knee. The URSA still higher in where it started compared to the Viviana. The win goes to the URSA strap in this jumping test. So to my surprise, the URSA has outperformed the Viviana Extreme. Just starting out, I could already feel the Viviana slip down my leg, and both times it failed. The first set, I didn't even get to more than 1 rep, and the Viviana Extreme straight went down to my knee, which if it starts here and ends down here is a fail. The URSA strap stayed entirely up It is not even a bother. The grip has managed to stay well put, and to be honest, while I was running around, I didn't even notice. So in this comparison, the URSA strap takes the win over the Viviana Extreme body strap. Kind of disappointed. I was hoping that the Viviana Extreme would outperform the URSA strap just because it seemed like the extra texturing would grip onto your leg better. But now I see that even just walking around, it does start to loosen its grip and bite and doesn't hold on very well. Maybe this is just a flaw with the water resistant properties of the strap, making it so that your leg just becomes this moist, wet surface that the Viviana Extreme can't bite onto. To my disappointing surprise and realization, the Viviana Extreme did not hold up at all in the slightest. If it gave out by walking from my car to this spot where I'm at right now, and it gave up on the very first rep of my test, it's not gonna last a whole wedding day or even a couple hours. I'm probably gonna only use it now for really, really slow, like standing in place type of mic placements. I've lost every bit of faith in the Viviana Extreme, and I have found a brand new respect for the URSA strap. Even just touching these right now, the URSA's polyurethane grip feels a lot more grippy than the Viviana. It definitely feels like it's not going anywhere, just holding it in my hand. I don't know what's contributing to this on the Viviana. Maybe it's its water resistant properties, but just moving my hand around here, there's like no grip. Like there's nothing stopping my hand from moving around. Like this is just freely sliding. There is no grip here. Extremely disappointing and just flat out weird that something marketed as extreme loses to a regular thigh strap. I don't know. I was just hoping for more from the Viviana Extreme strap rather than the URSA strap. So I'm gonna now put a piece of paper inside each one of these straps and run water through it. If the water gets through the strap, the ink will expand and we'll be able to see it. So let's go ahead and do that moisture resistance test right now. So now I'm gonna take each transmitter out of their respective strap and I'm gonna replace it with a piece of paper that has ink on it. You all didn't really think I was gonna run water through my very expensive transmitters, did you? No, no, no. That's why we do tests first before messing around and finding out. All right, so now I have my piece of paper and I put it VV front and VV back with dots on the back. If water gets through, these will expand on the paper and we'll know that the Viviana is not water resistant, and we'll also check it on the URSA and see how it deals with water. All right, we have here my water bottle. It's filled with water and I'll be running the water on the extreme grip side first. All right. The water just passed on there, letting it kind of soak there. Gonna go ahead and now wet the exterior part with water and see how that does. All right, so I noticed that on the exterior, the Viviana is definitely more water repellent than on the interior. That is so strange. Let me try again. If I wet the interior, the water seems to stick more to the interior grip side rather than the exterior. I really wonder why that is. Okay, now time to check the paper inside. And just for kicks, I'm gonna squish the thigh strap a little bit and let's see if some of that water seeps in. And we're gonna be pulling our piece of paper out of the self-claimed water-resistant Viviana Extreme. Here we go. And to the Viviana's credit. Ooh. Okay. So, I'm looking at it and matching it up. Some water did seep through towards the bottom of the stitching. Some water did go through, because it's okay, because the Viviana claims to be water resistant and not waterproof. The front did pretty good. The back did really well. All right, now here goes the URSA strap. We're gonna take our wireless transmitter and take it out. We're gonna put the front side towards the non-sticky and the back side towards the sticky. All right, so we have our URSA thigh strap. We put our paper inside, and now we'll be running water on the back and front side, and also patting it to see if any of that water seeps through. So here goes the front side of the URSA strap. It is kind of seeping through, but it did seem to shield off some of that water from it at first. All right, and now we're gonna go through the back of the URSA strap. This is where the stickies place and where we'll be putting our water through. All right, we've got the URSA strap wet, and here goes our pat. The URSA strap is definitely wet. I'd be surprised if that paper is not wet, honestly. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and pull our paper out. Oh man, okay. Okay. Let me bring this up to the camera. So as we both saw, the URSA strap got absolutely soaked when compared to the Viviana strap. But at this point in the review, I don't even care about water resistance and all that other jazz, because the Viviana Extreme can't even hold on to the leg. And I think it's due to that excellent water repelling capabilities that cause it to just become an absolutely slippery mess. Now granted, Viviana does have a regular strap versus the Extreme strap, but for this video, I thought it would be a good idea to check out an Extreme strap, which is rated for more demanding use, rather than the URSA strap, which is a more casual, marketed, comfortable strap. So there's a bit of dissonance between performance and what they claim to do. Even right now, the Viviana strap is absolutely soaked on the stick parts versus the URSA, which even as it's wet, it's still grabbing on to my skin. So I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm glad I'm able to make videos like this to help you. I think that the clear winner here is the URSA, just because the URSA actually stays on your leg, and the Viviana is a complete mess, absolute fail in 76-degree weather, cloudy. And I wouldn't say the movement that I was making wasn't over the top. It definitely was, but that's the whole point of a test. And the Viviana Extreme strap failed miserably in the running test and the skip test, and I didn't even get to the jumping kick test because there was no point. The Viviana strap fell off every single time and has just proven itself to not be reliable. The clear winner by a landslide is going to be the tried and true URSA Thigh Strap. This has absolutely knocked it out the park with its grip. I'm not sure whether it has to do with the fact that this isn't water repelling, whereas the Viviana Extreme is water repelling. I guess over time, allowing the URSA strap to get wet might be a little bit cumbersome, but ironically, the URSA strap felt a lot drier than the Viviana, because I suppose the URSA strap was absorbing more of that moisture coming off my thigh. I also felt it disappear a lot faster, so I forgot I was wearing it. Even while I knew I was making a review about thigh straps, I still became numb to the feeling of the URSA strap. I forgot it was even there. The grip felt more secure. I didn't have to worry in the back of my mind, oh my gosh, I'm gonna drop my videographer's really expensive audio equipment that's recording my wedding audio, overall, just a pass for the URSA. I have no affiliation with either of these brands, and I take really good care to watch out what I endorse. But after getting into audio the way that I have, and it being so important to make sure that these tools really stand up to a professional use case where you can depend on them, I'm gonna have to give a full endorsement to the URSA strap. This video is not sponsored. I didn't get paid. I bought this with my own money. So when it comes to the part of your body where you're gonna be moving the most, your legs, your client, bride, groom, talent, whoever is going to be using their legs to move around a lot, and depending on what they're doing, they're going to be moving. So that was the whole point of running around, jumping around, and seeing which one held on better. I really did want this test to be closer, just for the sake of comparison, like maybe they were both great products, but the Viviana was an absolute wash, and the URSA Thigh Strap completely knocked it out the water, like destroyed. I can't even explain to you like the feeling of being back there running and just feeling the Viviana strap completely fall towards my knees, while the URSA strap, I forgot I was wearing it and it just stayed on. So in a disappointing twist for me, because I was really hoping that the Viviana Extreme would clutch it out, the URSA strap absolutely wiped the floor with the Viviana Extreme strap for this review. Not only was the URSA strap more comfortable, it immediately disappeared. So that means that I didn't even notice it on my thigh and I forgot I was wearing it. It was less moist because I guess it was absorbing more of the moisture from my thigh. And I was not worried whatsoever about whether the URSA strap was gonna stay or fall off my leg. It didn't feel like it moved one bit. And now for the Viviana strap, it absolutely bombed this test. I almost don't want to believe it, can't believe it. I was really hoping it would perform better. The water resistant properties of the Viviana Extreme seem to prevent it from creating a good bond between the no-slip grip material and your skin. So eventually, I think the Viviana just becomes this wet mess where the no-slip can't get a grip on your leg and just ends up sliding off. I don't know if it's because of the water repelling properties or what the cause might be, but it's not that hot. It's 76 degrees out. I'm a guy, and I feel like, yes, my leg is fairly hairy, but the URSA strap was on the same opposing leg with just about similar hair. So both of them were fighting in the same conditions, and the URSA absolutely clutched up and blew the Viviana Extreme out of the water. So after doing this review, which one of these do I recommend? I'd have to say by an absolute landslide, and the fact that the Viviana didn't even get to finish any of the tests, that the URSA Thigh Strap is the clear winner here and defender of the throne for best thigh strap. There might be other brands, but these are the two most popular ones that I know of and have heard of, and odds are you have probably heard of too. The Viviana Extreme consistently fell down my leg towards my knee multiple times before I even started running. Just taking a step forward would cause this to go down my leg. And you might be saying, well, that's because you already put it on when you were humid and you were hot, but wouldn't your bride and groom also be like that if you're taking a wedding during the summer? So I cannot at all recommend the Viviana Extreme. It failed, kept sliding down my leg, and was not secure at all, and I would not recommend anyone buy the Viviana Extreme. It just doesn't work. Its water repellent properties is probably its biggest downfall. Due to this, it doesn't absorb any sweat when it's tied around your thigh, and this results in this strap surrounding just a moist area of water where the no-slip grip just slips off and slides down your leg. When it comes to the winner, there is a clear winner, and it is going to be the URSA Thigh Strap. The URSA Thigh Strap single long polyurethane grip held on fantastically. Not only was the thigh strap a lot more comfortable than the Viviana, it also held on past, and I forgot it was even on my leg at some points. The Viviana did not give me any of the same feelings, and while I was wearing the Viviana, if I was a groom or a bride, whoever, and I was walking around, I would only be able to think about how, oh my gosh, this thing is slowly crawling down my leg. Like, my videographer's really expensive recorder that's taking care of my wedding audio is coming off my leg. And now I can't focus on my wedding or the moment because I'm too worried about maybe pinching my thighs together to keep this thigh strap from going down my leg. The URSA strap performed flawlessly, and I forgot it was there, and it held on tight without any issue. Now, to be fair, Viviana does have a regular thigh strap that looks similar to the URSA, so I'll be going back and making another review comparing the regular Viviana to the URSA strap. But the fact that their extreme, slightly more expensive thigh strap completely bombed this fairly simple review doesn't give me much hope, but we'll see. And I'm not even sure I would use it for instances like this, where my subject is just talking on camera standing still. I'm pretty sure this would just slowly wiggle off, and in between coming in and out of the shot or moving around set, this would just slowly creep down and become a wet, uncomfortable mess, which I'm not a fan of, because the main thing I want to do when I am taking care of my clients is making their life easier and making myself invisible to them, which this Viviana Extreme Strap does none of those things. So getting my highest endorsement, and I'm very careful with what products I say I like, because I never want you all to think I'm a shill. Like, I hate spending my hard-earned money on products that are just absolute garbage. And so I have to say that the URSA Thigh Strap has my complete backing, and I absolutely loved the comfort and reliability that it was giving me. Running back and forth on this field, I had no problem with it sticking onto my thigh, and I never had to worry. While I kept adjusting the Viviana strap just to keep it fair, I would also adjust the URSA strap. But in all honesty, the URSA strap never needed to be adjusted because it always held on. It was perfect from the time I put it on for the first test until the very last test. With all that said, the strap of my choice that I'll be buying from now on will be the URSA Thigh Strap. Performed fantastically, and I know I can depend on it. If you found this video useful, consider leaving a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Justin, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!